Morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Let's try that again. Morning, everybody.
Good morning.
All right, cool. All right, so my name is Browne. As Dr. Maraj has said, thank you very much for inviting me. Dr. Chand. I'm gonna get started. Any art will tell you that it is the best one, that there's nothing like it, like nothing else. Nothing else will expose you to the very core of your humanity. Nothing else will expose the very core of that humanity to you. Nothing. No other thing. And I suppose poetry is no exception. I will not try to make that case for you this morning, though. By the time I'm done, you'll probably be glad that I did. According to the New Oxford American Dictionary, poetry uses forms and conventions to suggest differential interpretation to words, or to evoke emotive responses, to make you feel things. Devices such as assonance, alliteration, onomatopoeia, and rhythm are sometimes used to achieve musical or incantatory effects. The use of ambiguity, symbolism, irony, and other stylistic elements of poetic diction often leaves a poem open to multiple interpretations, which is why when you read a poem, you could make it into anything. The interpretation can be almost anything. Similarly, figures of speech such as metaphor, simile, and metonymy create a resonance between otherwise disparate images, a layering of meanings, forming connections previously not conceived. Kindred forms of resonance may exist, but between individual verses in their patterns of rhythm and rhyme. It's a useful definition, especially if you're nervous and all of your lofty ideas about poetry just kind of betray you before you get caught up on the stage. Or when you find yourself scrambling to revise your address to Form 3 and 4 students before they start Snapchatting about how boring you are. A poem, you learn, is supposed to partake of the nature of both speech and song that is nearly always rhythmical, usually metaphorical, and often exhibits such formal elements as meter, rhyme, stanza, and stanzaic structure. In other words, it allows us to make meaning out of language, crafting it from fragments of sound and silence, shaping as it goes, pushing when it slows, forcing you through time and space to where nobody knows. This, in case you're wondering, was my quick attempt to do something a little bit poetic, right? You get it, right? Alliteration, right? From fragments, sound and silence, right? You check that? Metaphor, right? Shaping as it goes, right? Yeah, you got that one? Right? Rhyme, goes, slows, knows, shows. Exactly. All right. So I admit that wasn't a very good poem, but you know, there are examples, right? Let me give you another one. The city could burn down. You all know that one, right? Who wrote that? Was it Shakespeare? No? That was MX Prime, right? We jamming still, right? Ultimate Rejects. Well, let us look for a moment at Martin Carter's This Is the Dark Time, My Love. This is the dark time, my love. All around the land, brown beetles crawl about. The shining sun is hidden in the sky. Red flowers bend their heads in awful sorrow. This is the dark time, my love. It is the season of oppression, dark metal, and the tears. It is the festival of guns, the carnival of misery. Everywhere, the faces of men are strained and anxious. Who comes walking in the dark nighttime? Whose boot of steel tramps down the slender grass? It is the man of death, my love. The stranger invader watching you sleep and aiming at your dream. That's you dreaming, right? Or you're just sleeping. This in part is why we study poetry, to be able to identify these elements when they show up in our language, to find in them the infinite interpretations that mark us as human and inquisitive, flawed and deeply curious about the ways we have for making our way through life, hard and sweet as it may be. This, those who study poetry will tell you, will make you a better person, not necessarily good or bad, just better than you were, asking more questions than you asked, trying to go further than from where you were at to somewhere else, anywhere else. It will provide you with the ability to understand yourself and those around you beyond the limits of science, in spite of the reach of technology. Through poetry, we are cast into the sublime, that thing we cannot properly explain, left to contemplate what it is we're not certain that we feel. What these examples show, Carter's classic example, MX Prime, my own terrible attempt, is that while you may be able to identify these elements, pointing them out in an exam, and discussing them as you will soon have to do, the poem itself has already escaped us. We have studied them, having watched them move once or twice or 1,000 times across the page. We have learned to hold them still, to dissect them and strain the essence from them, the essence we think they hold. We have taken them apart and extracted meaning from them, but what then? Left with our interpretations, what are we to make of what we have read? What do we do with the many themes we have discovered for ourselves or have had shown to us? How do we begin to move from the apparent stillness of the poem? I don't know. Now, you probably don't know this, or probably already do, but I'll remind you just in case that you may have forgotten. The word poetry is based on the Greek word poiesis, which means making. And everything we do with the poem, all the interpretation and analysis we perform in it, all the frustration that we show to it, all the ignorance that we try to run away from when we engage with it, is evidence of our ability to make something of it. Who is the poem for? Is it the speaker's love? Is it his love who seems not to know what is happening? Who is the speaker's love? We know that a dream is at risk, perhaps one, perhaps many, all, perhaps even the ability to dream. We know that something is being aimed at by the man of death, but you, in 2017, sitting in an auditorium that has been gutted more than once, are your dreams at risk as well? We hear the poem's insistent repetition and we know the speaker is resolved not only to see the dark times, but to see them through, to endure the dark times. This is the dark times, my love. He writes, though, as I look out at you, I wonder if it is this time of ours that he foresaw. Because these are dark times for us, love or no love. Because if it is, then it is also the reason we read poetry and why we study it. So when we are faced as we are with dark times of our own, and aside from the deep or far-flung ideas of independence and post-independence, of colonialism and post-colonialism, of brown beetles that crawl about, or of black and brown bodies, red and yellow and white bodies that walk with us because they are us, we have questions to answer. In the end, we do this work, this study of poetry, not only because we want to, but because we must. Not for an examination, but because it enables us to examine our lives and to express it. And though you will be bored from time to time, don't lose heart. Studying can do that. It can make you wish you were everywhere else but in front of that page. Discipline can sometimes do that. It can seem to drain all the fun and beauty from the poetry that you find. But ask your teachers. See that they get passion from what they do. Remind yourselves that as you go forward into a world of poetry, that you are living the poem. By the time you get to university, you will be tired, expect it, but you must endure. Stay the course, practice, but practice how you love. How you love words, how you love literature, how you love poetry. You will have to do that all on your own. Thank you.